So we try to make some revision while we wait some newcomers. So this is the complete chart on chaitas. Chaitas mean consciousnesses. Now we have described two groups. So yesterday, so they are the 12 akusala chaita. What do we mean by akusala chaita? Immoral consciousness. Now, what chaitas are included in this immoral consciousness? 8 lobha mula chaitas. We call them greed-rooted consciousnesses. And 2 dosa mula chaitas. So, dosa mula, how do you translate? Anger-rooted consciousnesses. And 2 moha mula chaita, ignorance-rooted consciousnesses. Now, how do you read the names of these 8 greed-rooted consciousness? So we read the positive sign first. The positive sign is given as somanasa saha katam. And here deity is the wrong view. Sambiyutam, associate with the wrong view. And a mean asankharikam, ekam, that is unprompted or spontaneous. And then the next one would be sasankharikam, ekam. So sasankharikam is the sasankharikam, prompted or not spontaneous. I think you can show the shadow akudo say. Page 32. Page 32. So, these are the 8 greed-rooted consciousnesses. Now, the way we read is given here. So we begin with the positive sign. So manasa saha katam, accompanied by pleasant mental feeling. Deity kata sambayutam, associated with the wrong view. Asankharikam ekam, so it is unprompted, the consciousness. Now you can read the second one, please read. So manasa saha katam, deity kata sambayutam, sa sankharikam ekam. Sa sankharikam means prompted. Ekam is one consciousness, which is prompted and it is associated with the wrong view and accompanied by pleasant mental feeling. Now number 3 is this one. So manasa saha katam, deity kata vipayutam. The VI stands for vipayutam, dissociated with the wrong view. And not at the same like this. So just we say here, asankharikam ekam. And then the next one, how would you say? So manasa saha katam, deity kata vipayutam, just like here. And only here we change. Sa sankharikam ekam. And for the next 4, we just change the somanasa into upikha. This upikha sahagatam instead of somanasa sahagatam. Ditai metta, ditai suluya. So we can read this. So we read upikha sahagatam, deity kata sambyutam, asankharikam ekam, sa sankharikam ekam. The next page. Upikha sahagatam Deithigata vipiyutam asankharikam ekam sa sankharikam ekam. Now this is the eight greed-rooted consciousness. Then we go to the two anger-rooted consciousness. So in the anger-rooted consciousness, now we give the star sign. And the star sign means Domanasa Sagatam. Instead of Somanasa, we call it Domanasa, painful mental feeling. So no, it is here one consciousness, unprompted, Patigha Samyutam, accompanied by painful mental feeling, no? This Domanasa, and associated with ill will. Patigha is the same as dosa, we call ill will. So now the way we read, so we read the symbol first. So please read, Domanasa saha katam, Patigha sampayutam, sankharikam ekam, sa sankharikam ekam. So when we translate, we translate from here, one consciousness, unprompted and accompanied by painful mental feeling and associated with the ill will, associated with ill will. When the next one, you just change, instead of the unprompted, we just change into prompted. One consciousness prompted, accompanied by displeasure or painful mental feeling and associated with ill will. Now the next two is the two moha mula cheta. They have the negative sign, so we call upikha sahagatam. Vichi stands for vichikiccha. Sampayutam, ekam is again one consciousness. So one consciousness accompanied by neutral feeling, upikha, and associated with skeptical doubt. Vichikiccha is skeptical doubt. The next one, upikha sahagatam, uddacha samyutam ekam. So one consciousness accompanied by neutral feeling and associated with restlessness. Uddacha is restlessness. So these are the two, the ignorance-rooted consciousness. Altogether we have 12 immoral consciousness. So, when immoral consciousness arises in us, so we should expect the bad result. So they are unwholesome. Immoral means unwholesome, and they produce the bad result. The bad result. So if you act with greed, so you want to get more profit, so at the expense of others. So that means you cause harm to other people by taking more more profit. So you cause harm to others. And when you have greed, so these greed-rooted consciousness, after they arise, they leave behind immoral karma, not the bad karma, and they produce the bad effects. And you don't know, slowly gradually. You find difficulty in your business, and you will come across many losses. And finally, they can also send you to be born in the woeful state. So it is not good when they are rising. So we are happy when we are greedy, we get some profit, some money, so we are happy. Like enjoying the movie and the good food, we are happy. But when we are eating with immoral mind. So this immoral mind, so the greed-rooted consciousness, they are immoral mind. So they are actually, the immoral mind. When they get what it wants, so it is happy, it is pleased. But when you are attached to that food, and you want to eat it, and you cannot eat it, then it produces pain. Painful will arise later on. So when you are attached, so you want to get it. If you want to eat it every day, if it is expensive, you have to find more money. That means you have to work harder. So that is also it brings the bad effects in one way or another. And the worst bad effect is to be reborn in the woeful state, but we die. No? So people, they are just living with immoral mind. No? So if we don't understand the teachings of the Buddha, we are living only with this immoral minds. No? We think we are very happy, because greed, it takes delight when it gets what it wants. When you are enjoying good food, good in the tummy, so you are thinking you are happy. No, but this happiness are just temporarily. So we say they are fleeting and transient. No? So as soon as they arise, they disappear. And soon they arise, they disappear. And now the next group is 18, rootless consciousness. No? Ahetuka. Hetu means the same as the root, the same as the mula. No? So the diapona. So we say ahetuka is rootless. No? So they are rootless one. So we also classify them into 3 groups. The first group is akusala vipaka chaita. So you should be able to translate like this. Akusala, you should be familiar, immoral. Now vipaka is a resultant consciousness. The result of past akusala chaita. Because akusala chaita produce immoral karma, so that karma produce this consciousness. So we say immoral resultant consciousness. And this is rootless, ahetuka. Kusala is moral, resultant consciousness. So due to our past moral, good karmas, moral is good, so moral karma, so this moral rootless resultant consciousness are produced in this existence. And ahetuka kriya chaita mean, ahetuka is again rootless, and kriya is functional. Functional. Kriya means functional. So they arise only to do the job in hand. So when they need to arise, they will arise, and then they just disappear. They don't leave any the karma. So the rootless functional consciousness. So they are result. These 2 are the result of past immoral karma and moral karma. So we have here. So there are 7 immoral resultant consciousness. So what are they? So they are the eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, etc. So we can read from here. Chakku means the eye. Sota means what? The ear. Ghana, nose. Jiva, tongue. Kaya, body. So they all have the negative sign here. So we call upikha sagatam, accompanied by neutral feeling. Chakku vijnanam. Vijnanam means the same thing as chaita. That means eye consciousness. The next one is sota vijnanam, ear consciousness. Again, accompanied by neutral feeling. And then ghana vijnanam is nose consciousness. And jiva vijnanam, tongue consciousness. So all of them are accompanied by neutral feeling. When you come to number 5, so kaya is body. So kaya vijnanam is body consciousness, accompanied by dukkha is painful bodily feeling. Accompanied by painful bodily feeling. And the next one is upikha sahagadam. So this is sampatichana, chaitam. So it is receiving consciousness, accompanied by neutral feeling. The next one, upikha sagadam, Santirana Chaitam. Santirana is investigating consciousness, accompanied by indifference or neutral feeling. So when the eye consciousness sees a sense object, now it arises just a short movement. It arises, it dissolves. Now only eye consciousness can see the visible object. Now what it sees, that object, that's the object that it sees, it transmits to this Sampadicana Chaita, and Sampadicana Chaita receives it. And then Sampadicana transmits it again to the next, that is Santirana Chaita, which investigates it. It investigates whether the sense object is good or bad. And then again transmit to this Manodwara Vachana, not the middle one, Manodwara Vachana. It determines whether the sense object is good or bad. So according to that determination, so if it determines the sense object is very beautiful and desirable, then Lopa Mula Chaita will arise. Greed with that consciousness, which desire to get it, which enjoys seeing it. Or if this desire, the sense object is the disgusting, hateful, then Dosa Mula Chaita will arise. So with dosa, anger, displeasure, so you don't like it, so you get displeasure, painful mental feeling. So now shall we read the next 8 the rootless, moral, resultant consciousness. They have the same rootless, moral, resultant consciousness. They have the same symbol and the same name. So try to read so that you become familiar. Try to read in English. So Upikha Sahagatam Chakhu Vainyanam, Upikha Sahagatam Sota Vainyanam, Upikha Sahagatam Gana Vainyanam, Upikha Sahagatam Jiva Vainyanam. This is Sukha. Now instead of Dukkha, we have Sukha, pleasant bodily feeling. Sukha Sahagatam Kaya Vainyanam, Upikha Sahagatam Sampadicana Chaitam, Upikha Sahagatam Santirana Chaitam, Somanasa Sahagatam Santirana Chaitam. So we have one extra, one more, Somanasa Santirana. When the sense object is fairly good, when we investigate, and Santirana is investigating, so at that time only neutral feeling will arise in us. When the sense object is very good, so even while we investigate it, we get pleasant feeling in the mind. So we have Somanasa, one more Somanasa. And then we have the 3 rootless functional consciousness. So the first 2 is very useful one. So both of them are Upikha Sahagatam. Now this is called Pancha Dwara Vachana Chaitam. Pancha Dwara means 5 sense door. Dwara means door. Avachana means the directing consciousness. So it is 5 door directing consciousness, accompanied by neutral feeling. The next one, Manodwara, is mind door. So if you combine with Avachana, so it becomes, when Ra is combined with Avachana, it becomes Ra. So Ra is a combination of Ra plus A. Manodwara Vachana Chaitam. So it is mind door, directing consciousness, accompanied by neutral feeling. And the next one is Somanasa Sahagatam Hasitupada. Chaitam is smile producing consciousness. This Hasitupadam. So accompanied by pleasant mental feeling. So please read one more. Upikha Sahagatam Pancha Dwara Vachana Chaitam. Upikha sagadam mano dwara vachana chaitam. Somanasa sagadam ha setupada chaitam. So these two are important. We have here 5 sense door. The eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue, and the body. So any sense object that appears in one of these door, it would be pancha dwara vachana, to take notice of that sense object. And then after it take notice it directs the mental stream to come to this object. So after that, eye consciousness will arise to see the object, and then that series of citta will arise. So if the sense object appears in the mind door, so the mind door is in our heart, in the blood of our heart. So we say the consciousness that always arises to keep us alive, we call life continuum. So that consciousness arises in the heart, in the blood of the heart, and it functions as the mind door. So the mind door is very powerful, as it is the mind. It is powerful. So all 6 types of sense objects can appear in the mind door. Like the visible object, it can appear in the eye door as well as in the mind door. The same thing, the sound can appear in the ear door as well as the mind door. And like the thoughts, which has no object, the thoughts appear only in the mind door. So the mind door is very powerful, like Nibbana appears in the mind door. So we can enjoy the peace of Nibbana. So now we finished these 2 groups yesterday. So these 2 groups, they add up into 30, and we call these 30 chaitas to be asobana. Asobana means not beautiful, not beautiful. So only these 30 are not beautiful, what we call, and all the rest are beautiful. So they are more beautiful consciousness than not beautiful consciousness. And the immoral consciousness are not beautiful because they associate with immoral roots. Immoral roots, they are unwholesome and they produce the bad effects, so they are not beautiful. Now these are the 18 rootless consciousness. Remember, they are the eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, etc. To be aware of the 5 sense objects. So we need them to see the sense object, the good sense object as well as the bad sense objects. The bad sense objects. So they are not immoral. They are not immoral. We don't call them immoral. We just say resultant consciousness. The result of the past good karma and the bad karma. So they are just the result. And we need them to see the 5 sense objects, so they are important to us. They are not beautiful. We regard them not beautiful because they do not associate with beautiful roots. With beautiful roots. So all these, the remaining chaita, they associate with beautiful roots. And beautiful roots will produce good result. The beautiful roots produce moral minds, and then they produce good result. So they are beautiful, we call them. So as these chaita do not associate with beautiful roots, they are called asobana, not beautiful. So it does not mean they are unwholesome or immoral. Because this 18 chaita, they arise, like we say in arahats, hasitupada arise in arahat, and all these 18 chaita arise in arahats and in Buddha. They arise in arahats, because arahats need also to see the sense object, to hear the voices, so they arise. So though we say asobana, don't take them to be wicked, unwholesome consciousness. Now among the 54 kama vachara chaita, kama vachara is sense sphere, sense consciousness. So 30 are asobana, not beautiful. So the remaining 24 are beautiful. So we call them Kama Sobhana, Chaita. So these Kama Sobhana Chaita 24 are divided equally into Kusala. Kusala is moral, and Vipaka is resultant, and then Vikriya is functional. Functional. So now I'm sorry to know that today no books arrive. So we don't have Abhidhamma books. Today, tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow, we don't have. So we expect on Monday to arise. So now we show you again, the writings are here. So, sense sphere, the beautiful consciousness. So, now remember those 12 immoral consciousness, 18 rootless consciousness are collectively called 30 asobhana chaita, not beautiful consciousness. And all the remaining are sobhana chaita, beautiful consciousness. Now these 24 kama sobhana chaita. So kama sobhana chaita here, we give you kama, we just say sense sphere, beautiful consciousness. Beautiful consciousness that arises in the sense sphere. So the sense sphere are the 11 planes that enjoy sense pleasure, including human realm and 6 celestial realms. And also 4, the woeful abodes. So altogether 11 realms. So they are combined equally into 3 groups: Kusala, Vipaka, and Kriya, functional. So we call them Kama Vachara Kusala Chaita, sense sphere, moral consciousness. And they are also known as Maha Kusala Chaita. Maha means greater in number. So that means great moral consciousnesses. So now you can read this. Kama Vachara Vipaka Chaita would be. So just like here, Kama Vachara is sense sphere. And Vipaka, instead of moral, you just change it into resultant consciousness. Or great resultant consciousnesses. So sense sphere resultant consciousness or great resultant consciousness. Now the next group is, instead of we have Kriya here, functional. So again the name would be Kama Vachara Kriya Chaita, means sense sphere, functional consciousnesses. And Mahakriya Chaita means great functional consciousnesses. So we give 2 names. We give 2 names. And they try to use this Maha, greater in number, just to make them simple. Instead of saying Kama Vachara Kriya Chaita, they like to say Mahakriya Chaita. So some teacher, they just invent this name. But we have to understand both of them. So here we say Maha means greater in number. So among the moral consciousnesses, this Maha Kusala Chaita, the numbers, the largest number. So these, under this Kusala, all these are moral minds. Now this is, we say, Kama Vachara, the moral consciousness. Kama Vachara, sense sphere, moral consciousness. And then we have the Rupa Vachara will be 5 material sphere, moral consciousness. Arupa means immaterial sphere, moral consciousness. And Lokuttara means supramundane, the moral consciousness. So among these consciousness, here we have 8, here we have 5, 4, and 4. So you can see, 8 is the greatest number. And because they have the greatest number, they are also called, instead of Kama Vachara, Maha Kusala Chaita. To make it simple, just to make it simple. So just try to know that. The same day, this Maha Vipaka, actually it should be called Kama Vachara Vipaka Chaita. And then the Kriya Chaita should also be called Kama Vajra, the Kriya Chaita. So again, among the Vipaka Chaita, this Mahavipaka, the numbers the most, so we call them Mahavipaka, and also here we call them Mahakriya, because they are the greatest number. Okay, just try to be familiar with the name. Now, we also explain later. After this, we explain that, and now, Mahakusala Chaita arise when ordinary worldlings, putuchanas, and noble persons. So those who are not noble persons are called worldlings. And noble person with the exception of arahats. So when these people perform meritorious deeds, so when we say meritorious deeds, meritorious deeds are of three kinds in brief. So they mean dana, almsgiving, and then observe moral precepts, sila, and then undertaking meditation. The meditation we call bhavana. So when we say we perform meritorious deeds, we are performing those three kinds. Samyana 41. 41, now yes, 41, Kama Vajra Chaita. So we are here. So we say, when we perform meritorious treatment, we are doing almsgiving, dana, or observing moral precepts, sila, and then undertaking meditation. So at that time, we are performing moral, meritorious deeds. So moral, the mind, kusala chaita is moral mind, will arise at that time. So Mahavipaka chaita are the result of this moral karma. They are karma result of Mahakusala chaita of past lives. They function as Patisanti chaita, rebirth consciousness, Bhavinga chaita, life continuing consciousness. We call them life continuum actually. And Chuti chaita, death consciousness in human beings and celestial beings. So this Mahavipaka chaita, they function as our rebirth consciousness. Hosea number Kuglimya Pialu Luemla. Now we say in this life, we are born because our good the past karma, one good past karma bear result. Because it bear result, we are born in this life. Now when that karma, so the augaha, so this is we show the consciousness that arises in one life. So the first consciousness that arises in our life is this one. We call it Patisanti chaita. So it means rebirth consciousness. Rebirth consciousness. So it is actually chapter 9. Those who have the book, you can look at the chapter 9. So those students who have attended the Visuddhi Mega class in Mingala Vihara, they got the books. But for the rest, we just wait. So now, so the karma that we perform in the past life, one good karma, produces its result. When it produces result, it produces resultant consciousness. Resultant consciousness is resultant Mahavipaka chaita. For example, if we perform the meritorious deed with number 1 Mahakusala chaita, so we call this the same name as here. Somanasa sagadam jnana samyutam sankharika no, the Mahakusala Chaita. Then our karma, no, that karma, when it produces result, it will produce this number one Mahavipaka Chaita. It's the resultant. No, they have the same name. Sobanasa Sagadam Jnana Samyudam Asankharika Mahavipaka Chaita. So this karma will produce its resultant consciousness, one after another, continuously, without any separation in time, throughout our life, So it will keep on producing this Mahavipaka Chaita, one after another. So long it has energy to produce, so we are alive. We are alive. So when it is exhausted of its energy, it cannot produce any resultant consciousness anymore, then we die. And the first, the resultant consciousness is called rebirth consciousness, as is performed the rebirth function. And the subsequent, the resultant consciousness, they are called Bhavinga Chaita. Bhavinga Chaita. So Bhavinga means life continuum, to keep us alive, And then the final one, so after this one we say we die. So it is called dead consciousness. Chuti Chaita means dead consciousness. So that is how the karma, they produce their resultant. And the karma also produce karma-born materiality throughout our whole life. So starting from the arising of rebirth consciousness and every sub-movement. So the lifespan of one consciousness we call consciousness movement. And we divide it into three parts. Arising moment, existing moment, dissolving moment. So we call this sub-movement. So every sub-movement, this karma that produces our existence also produces the karma-born materiality. So this karma-born materiality also have life. They also have life. They have life. So we are alive because we have life in this mentality, in the mind, and life in this karma-born materiality. So these two times of life keep us alive. So Abhidhamma explains how we are born and why we are alive and why we die. Very definitely, precisely. And soon you die here. So the next karma, as in your mind, there are many bad karma as well as many good karma. So when you die, one karma will have the chance to produce the next existence. So as soon as you die here, the next, you are born in the next life, and the result, the rebirth consciousness of the next life will arise without any lapse in time. As soon as you are die, you are born there. So that is taught by the Buddha, and we have concrete evidences about this. I explain in this book. So after you attend Abhidhamma, you understand all this. Reading all this, you can understand. So they are very beautiful. They explain our existence, the nature of existence, the precisely. Only the Abhidhamma can explain correctly like this, clearly and correctly like this. If you study only the Sutta, Sutta Pitaka, you don't know this thing. Sutta Pitaka, they don't describe about the mind. So when we say like the moral consciousness, resultant consciousness, you don't know. These are actually only in the Abhidhamma the Buddha explained in detail. In Sutta he used this word, but no explanation there. So just by learning the Sutta, you don't understand the teaching of the Buddha in depth and comprehensively. You don't understand. So, no, Abhidhamma explain all the Sutta Pitaka in detail. In detail. No? Okay. Now, if you get that, we can go back to the Mahakusala Chaita. So we go back to our the moral consciousness. So those who have the book, you can follow, I think. No, you can follow. No, that's so. Now, this Mahavipaka Chaita are karma result of the past Mahakusala karma. And they function as Pratidhanti Chaita, rebirth consciousness. And then Bhavinga, this is the what I am calling you. Bhavinga Chaita is like continuum consciousness. And finally, as Chuti Chaita is dead consciousness. Now, Mahakriya Chaita arise in Arahats when they perform meritorious deeds. Arahats have no attachment to anything. They expect no rewards from their meritorious deeds. So their Kriya Chaitas are just functional and will not bear any karma results in future lives. And Arahats do not have any future lives. So in Arahat, they don't have Lopa, Dosa, Moha anymore. They eliminated all these, we call them defilements. So if there is no Lopa, no greed, no craving, no desire, they don't want to get anything, no desire. So they also do meritorious deeds because meritorious deeds are the good deed that should be done. They also do. They will preach the Dhamma. They also pay respect to the Buddha. They offer, like the water, the flower to the Buddha. So, when they offer this, they do meritorious deed. So, no Kusala Chaita arise. Because Kusala Chaita, they have karma property. So only Kriya Chaita arise in them, which are just functional. So we need this Chaita to do this meritorious deed, to move our hand. Because we say that karma born materiality, we need them. Then also the mind born materiality move our hand. So so we need the Chaita to do the meritorious deed. So only Kriya Chaita, Mahakriya Chaita, arise in Arahats. Now after you know that, we go to the naming system, how we name this 8 Mahakusala Chaita. So now we say, the 8 the great moral consciousness, they are given the same symbol and the similar name, like the 8 Lopa Mula Chaita. What we have to do is we just change the Deity Kata Samyutam here, Deity Sam. So instead of Deity, we just change Jnana Sam. Jnana means knowledge or wisdom. So the same symbol and not the same, all the words are the same. Only this Deity should be changed into Jnana. So that means if you can read the 8 Lopa Mula Chaita, you can also know the 8 Mahakusala Chaita. So now we can read. So we read in the same way. So the positive sign we say Somanasa. So please read. Somanasa Saha Katam Jnana Sambayutam Asankharikam Ekam Sa Sankharikam Ekam. This one pair. They differ only in Asankharika, Sasankharika. And in the next pair, instead of Jnana Samyutam, you change it into Jnana Vipayutam. Okay, we read again. Somanasa Sahakatam Jnana Vipayutam Asankharikam Ekam Sasankharikam Ekam. So in the next 4, we just change this Somanasa into Upika. Instead of Somanasa Sahakatam, we just change into Upika Sahakatam. Okay, we read again. Upika Sahakatam Jnana samyutam asankharikam ekam sa sankharikam ekam. Upekha sagatam jnana vipayutam asankharikam ekam sa sankharikam ekam. So, no, you can read. No? So that's why we say, this chart. If you know how to read, as soon as you see that, you can read the name. No, you know the 8 names, so you don't have to remember all these. Just this. So now we go to the meaning. So the meaning. Ekam is one consciousness. Asankharikam, unprompted. Somanasa sagatam, accompanied by joy or accompanied by pleasant mental feeling. No? So the somanasa, we take it to be joy or pleasant mental feeling. And then jnana samyutam means associated with knowledge. When you go to the second, the consciousness, instead of unprompted, you just put down prompted, that's all. And then when you go in 3 and 4, instead of the associated with knowledge, so we say they are dissociated with knowledge. Jnana vipayutam. So when you go to this 4, instead of the accompanied by pleasant mental feeling or pleasant joy, so you have to say accompanied by neutral feeling. They are upekha sagatam. So now when we perform meritorious states, so and please show this sign again, the literature. When we perform meritorious states, if you perform without being prompted by anyone, we call it asankharika citta. Unprompted. So if you are prompted by yourself or prompted by others, like the children, they don't know how to pay respect to the Buddha. So the mother prompts them. Now you pay homage to the Buddha, so they also pay homage. So when they pay homage, they have to be prompted. So instead of asankharikam ekam, in them, sa sankharikam ekam citta will arise. Now, when you do meritorious deeds joyfully, with joy, then your consciousness will be accompanied by joy or pleasant mental feeling. Somanasa sagatam. And if this knowledge, jnana, knowledge means the knowledge of knowing karma and its result. So if you know karma and result, when you perform, somebody member donated to me for publication of the books. So that is very good meritorious deed. Because we say the Dhamma, the gift of Dhamma excels all other gifts. Because the Dhamma that I am teaching you gives you the greatest benefits. So I can give you other gifts. So like say like the cake. I can give you the cake, the food, the clothing, even the car, the houses. But they don't bring as good benefit as I teach you now. So I am giving you the most beautiful, the beneficial gift. So Dhamma gives us the greatest benefit. And that's why we say when you they teach the Dhamma, so you get the greatest benefits. I'm teaching you, I'm getting the greatest benefits, actually. And even under the listening to the Dhamma, you also have great benefits. So we say why you are pay attention to the teaching of the Buddha, the Dhamma. So during this time, the greed, anger, ignorance do not arise in you. So if you can stop them not to arise, at that time moral minds would be arising. So we say why you are paying attention. So these moral minds will be arising by many billions every second, we say. No, every second, many billion, thousands of billion. So this moral mind, as soon as they arise, they dissolve. And when they dissolve, they leave behind their karma properties, we call. So they leave their moral karmas in our mental stream. So these, the karmas will be transmitted from one mind to another. When this mind dissolves, when this mind dissolves, it transmits to the next arising mind. When this mind dissolves, it transmits to the next arising mind. So by that way, this karma always follow us. So the Buddha said, if you perform meritorious deed, these good karma will follow you just like your shadow. Just like your shadow never leaves you, they always follow you. And when they are following you, they will produce their good result whenever they have the chance to do so. If we do, there are a lot of meritorious deeds like almsgiving, and then like the observing 5 moral precepts, Arya we observe, and then the studying the Buddha and the listening to the Dhamma and studying the books. It's the same thing like listening to the Dhamma. So you develop knowledge, the wisdom, and also while you are reading, only moral minds will be arising. By billions, so you get very, very great benefits. So our learned monks, they used to say, so in Myanmar, they say in Myanmar, na ko taung shit ta du te ho le atinchi, they say. So that means, if you listen to one Dhamma talk, you will not be born in the woeful state for 9 war cycles. The world cycle. Our world arises from nothing, arises, now it is existing, and finally it will be destroyed. Destroyed by fire or by wind or by by water, the Buddha said. So that's called, we call one war cycle. One war cycle. So for 9 war cycle, you will not be born in the woeful state, they say. How nice. And those who cannot come, but when they heard about you, about this, the Dhamma talk, and if they can appreciate, they also produce more moral karma, and they will not be born for 1 war cycle in the woeful state. So those who teach the Dhamma will not be born in the woeful state for infinite number of war cycles. So you try to learn what I teach you, why I teach you. So if you understand, and of course you have to make the effort to read it again and again, so that to understand it very well. And now we are doing the recording. So they will produce the CD. So if you get the CD, is very good, because you can put in your car. So while you are driving, you are just turn it on. So you are listening to the Dhamma all the way, all the way. So if you just make a so just like when I teach in the United States, so those students of mine, they say, teacher, we put your CD in our car, we are listening it all every day. Now we understand very well what you teach. So that is a very good way, just trying to listen and then you understand. But the best thing is what I teach now. If you listen, you can understand very well. Very well. So without listening, here, now, even you read and you listen, you may have difficulty. So it is good to attend the Abhidhamma class. So don't miss the class. Don't try to try to be in time as much as possible. So if you miss something, you may not understand that, and they are interrelated. If you miss this today's teaching, maybe you become difficult to understand the next teaching. They are connected with each other. So try to get it. So 11 days is very short. Now we come to the third day. Now already 3 days passed by. So only 8 days more left. So these are the golden days. The golden days actually. No, when you are getting the greatest merit in life, so they can produce you, the blissful rebirth for many existence. Remember, no? So, okay. Now, when you do with the knowledge of karma in result, we say you have jnana sambhyutam. No, jnana sambhyutam. And if while you are doing meritorious deed without the knowledge of karma in result, then you have only jnana vibhutam. So, your consciousness is jnana vibhutam, that is not dissociated, dissociated with knowledge. No knowledge. So we say, in all this beautiful consciousness, they contain at least two good roots. The two good roots is this alopa and adosa. These two good roots, they always associate with all this beautiful mind. Now, when you have karma and result of you understand karma and result, then we say you have three good roots. Because moha, the wisdom, also associate with you. For example, when we perform almsgiving, so that means when you perform almsgiving, like donating to the book publication, so you part with $10, $50 or $100. So that means you can cut your attachment to your money, and so you can give over. So that is at that time alopa, the greedlessness. Greedlessness arises in your mind. And then dosa also arises at that time. So when you donate to a beggar, so it is for the welfare of the beggar. When you donate to the temple, for the welfare of the monks. And now when you donate to the book, if I can write more books, publish more books, so to the welfare of many people. To the welfare. So when you have that, then we say you have dosa. Dosa. Dosa is anger, destructive. So dosa means like tolerance, non-hatred, no anger, and loving kindness. That means loving kindness, dosa. So because you have loving kindness to the beggar, you donate to him for his welfare, and to the monks for their welfare. And now you donate to the books for the welfare of all the people. That means you have loving kindness to all the people. So these two roots, they always associate whenever we do meritorious deed. And the third one, moha, that stands for the knowledge or wisdom, arises only you know karma. At least you should know why we are doing that is good deed. It will produce good result. I will get good karma on this. If you know that, you already have the knowledge. And whenever you perform meritorious deed, always wish for attainment of nibbana. May my good deed be conducive to my attainment of nibbana. So idhamme punyam nibbanasa paccaya hotu. So that is the best. So that good karma. So you have wisdom associated with it, and it will bear result until you attain nibbana. And it will pave the way for you to attain nibbana very quickly. If you really want to get nibbana, and you make donation, so it will produce the nibbana very quickly. So there is the way how to do meritorious deed. Try to do joyfully. So try to do joyfully, because you get great merit. And also when you do good merit, so wish for nibbana. Wish for nibbana. And try to do it unprompted. That means spontaneously. So when you do spontaneously, your mind is more active, it has greater intensity, so the karma is stronger. It will bear quick result and bigger result. If you are reluctant to donate, so trying to pushing you, oh, you should donate also. Then, no, if you are reluctantly donate, so that means your mind is not active. No, it's sasankarika, sasankarikam. So it is inactive. So the karma is weak. So it will produce only little result, small result. So that's what we should know about the doing meritorious deed. So now you know the application. So now we have two exercise, not just for your exercise. So great moral consciousness, the application out ma. The out ma, the out ma,ဟုတ်ပြီဒီဘက်ကိုသွားလိုက်တာလေ So exercise 1, if we offer alms without being prompted by anyone, so you know it is asankarika, not prompted by anyone, without being prompted by anyone. And we also feel glad at the time of offering. So that means you have joy. So, and then somanasa, pleasant mental feeling. Then what would be your chaita, your consciousness? So as you're offering alms, it is kusala chaita. So what would be the name? So we say, because you feel glad, it is somanasa sagatam. And of course here I have to put one in. If we offer alms with the knowledge of karma, if you have the knowledge of karma, then we say it would be jnana. Oh, this one, jnana samyutam, and then not prompted by anyone, asankarika mahakusala chaita. So we have to show the name Mahakusala Chaita, to put in. When you give the name, we just say, these are Mahakusala Chaita. So we don't put in Mahakusala Chaita in when we recite the name. So when we give to have to name, to give the name, then we have to put in Mahakusala Chaita. So the next one, if young children, without knowledge of karma and karma result, so they pay homage joyfully to a monk or to a Buddha's image after being prompted by their parents. So what would be the chaita that arises in them? So if they pay homage to the Buddha or the monks, they are also producing kusala chaita. Now also they are paying homage with joy. So it is somanasa sagatam. And jnana vipayutam, because they don't have the knowledge of karma and result. And then they are prompted by their parents. So instead of asankarika, sasankarika mahakusala chaita. So this I give you 8 more exercises. Now for those 8 types of the mahakusala chaita. Now for example number 3, a boy spontaneously gives some money to a beggar. So spontaneously means without being prompted by anyone. So it is asankarika. If he gives money not to a beggar, that is donation. So that means at that time he will have mahakusala chaita. With joy. So joyfully, that means somanasa sagatam. And without the knowledge of karma, jnana vipayutam. So what would be the name? So we say, with joy, somanasa sagatam, jnana vipayutam, and then asankarika mahakusala chaita. Now for example, we take, like the number 7, a man prompted by a monk chops wood with neutral feeling, but knowing it to be a meritorious deed. So, if you like in the country, we use the wood for cooking. So that man, he is cutting the wood. So he is cutting the wood. So Bulandia service we call, Bulandia service. So that is also meritorious deed. To do Bulandia service. No, it's very good meritorious deed actually. No, you get greater merit than almsgiving. No, this meritorious, the volunteer service. No, like who cooks for like say for the monk, and then try to prepare and serve the monk. So you get even greater merit than those donors. No, so it is good. So now this man prompted by a monk, that means he's being prompted. No, satsangkarika. So he knows he's doing the meritorious deed. So if he knows it, meritorious deed, he knows he is getting the good merit, the good merit. That means he knows karma in result. And then with neutral feeling, he is not happy while you are doing during that time. Neutral feeling, upikha sagatam. And then jnana sampayutam, satsangkarika mahakusala chaita. Now, for example, when you go to bed, as a Buddhist, you think, oh, I should not sleep without paying homage to the Buddha. So then you just bow 3 times on your pillow. At that time, no joy, no joy, and no thought about karma. So you just bow 3 times. What would be your chaita? So as you pay homage to the Buddha, it's Mahakusala Chaita. Mahakusala Chaita. So no joy. So you're sleepy. So only just you try to push yourself to pay homage. You have to push yourself. Oh, you better pay homage before you sleep. So it is upikha sagatam, jnana vipayutam, satsangkarika mahakusala chaita. The poorest kusala chaita. The poorest. So satsangkarika. And then jnana vipayuta. No knowledge. No. So but anyway you get little merit. Still you get good karma. Okay, now you know Mahakusala Chaita. Now when you know Mahakusala Chaita, the Mahavipaka and Mahakriya Chaita, so they are given on page 44. So there are 4 classes of Chaita. The Akusala immoral consciousness, only 12 of these. Now Kusala Chaita, we have many Kusala Chaita. Now we are just talking about this. And now Vipaka Chaita, only these 2, they have karma properties. Akusala Chaita and Kusala Chaita, they have karma properties. The Vipaka is just the result of these karma. The result of these karma, and they don't have any karma properties. And Kriya is functional. They arise only when they should, and then they don't have any karma properties. This thing. So these 8 Mahavipaka Chaita and 8 Mahakriya Chaita, they are named the same name as the Mahakusala Chaita. The same name. So the same name we say here. So, if they have the same name, if you want to differentiate them, so we differentiate in this way. For example, the number 1, Mahakusala Chaita and Mahavipaka Chaita and Mahakriya Chaita. So the way their name is Somanasa Sahakatam, Jnana Sampayutam, Asankharika Mahakusala Chaita. Then for Mahavipaka, you say the same thing. Somanasa Sahakatam, Jnana Sampayutam, Asankharika Mahavipaka Chaita. You just change Kusala into Vipaka. So great moral consciousness, great resultant consciousness. Now for functional, when arahats, they perform meritorious deed, so only Kriya Chaita arise. So again, the name is the same. Somanasa Sagatam, Jnana Samyutam, Asankharika Mahakriya Chaita. That's all. So that means we also know the names of 8 Mahavipaka and 8 Mahakriya. So we finish the 54 Kamavachara Chaita, the sense sphere consciousness. So, of these, the 54 Chaita, they arise in the sense sphere, we say, these 54 Chaita. But, we should take note, this Hasitupada, the smiling consciousness of Arahats, and the Mahakriya Chaita, they arise only in Arahats, this 9 Chaita. So these 9, they don't arise in the non-Arahats. So then how many Chaita can arise in us as Volins? How many can arise? So this 54, you subtract this 9. So you get 45 Chaita. 45 Chaita. So now we go to the next, the next are the group of Chaita. So we finish this Kamavachara 54. Now we go to the next, the next group is Rupavachara, the Chaita. So this is Kamavachara Chaita. Now is Rupavachara Chaita. So that Rupa is materiality. And they refer to materiality in the Rupa, Brahma realm. So the Brahma, they have very fine materiality. We cannot see their body because their materiality is very fine, invisible to us. We cannot see them. So we call them fine material sphere consciousness. Altogether there are 15 of them. We again divided equally just like here. Equally. So we get Rupa Vajra Kusala Chaita 5. Rupa Vajra Vipaka Chaita 5. Rupa Vajra Kriya Chaita 5. So these are the jhana chaita, the jhana chaita. So jhana, what is jhana? So actually we just try to read the names first. So now we are coming to this group, fine material sphere consciousness, Rupa Vajra Chaita. There are 15 of them. They are divided equally into 3 groups. So try to read these 3 groups. What are they? 5 Rupa Vajra Kusala Chaita. So in English we say, so as they are Jhana Chaita, Rupa Jhana, moral consciousness. Now the next. So then instead of Kusala, we just change into Vipaka and Kriya. So number 2 is Rupa Vajra Vipaka Chaitas, Rupa Jhana, resultant consciousness. Rupa Vajra Kriya Chaita, Rupa Jhana, functional consciousness. So, a person whose rebirth consciousness is associated with wisdom and who is not yet an Arahat, may develop the 5 Rupa Vajra Kusala Chaita, one after another, by undertaking tranquility meditation. So, tranquility meditation, tranquil means peaceful. Peaceful meditation such as meditation on ekasina or on respiration. Respiration is your breathing, mindfulness of breathing. So if you can do meditation on mindfulness of breathing correctly, as taught by the Buddha, you can develop all these 5 Rupa Vajra Kusala Chaita. But here we will explain by meditation on an At-Kasina. An At-Kasina means it is a device. Kasina means a device. So here we say, by Kasina. Kasina is a meditation device. So there are 10 kinds of Kasina. So the first one we call the At-Dis. We just make an At-Dis. That's all. Just the At. So those who already attain, like the 5th jhana, in mindfulness of breathing, then you don't even need to make an At-Dis. What our Pa-Auk Sayadaw did is he just clear a patch of At in the ground. He just clear it and he just draw a circle. A circle about 15 inches in diameter. So you just watch that. No, just you look at that earth. No, just concentrate on that. No, the earth in the circle. So we call it an earth disk, an earth circle. So you just reflect the earth in Pali we call Patavi. So we just say Patavi, Patavi, Patavi. We just reflect like that. Like in the case if we have to make Ivan, so the simple way is, you can just use like a piece of leather or canvas or a mat. So you just make an art disc. So about 1 foot to 15 inches in diameter. Just make it. You just smear some clay, and they prefer the dawn color clay. The dawn color is the orange color. So orange color clay. Orange color clay. So the easy way I think is you can just make that clay into a ball like the size of an orange, and you just put it on the mat or on the canvas, on the canvas, piece of canvas. So you just flatten it, flatten it to make it a circle about 12 inches or 15 inches in diameter. So that is the art disc. It does not cost any money actually to make the art disc. But when you meditate on that, so you can develop this 5 Rupa Vajra jhana, and then 4 Arupa Vajra jhana. You can develop all these 9 jhana just by meditating on that art disc. So very, very useful. Very, very useful. So now we say, so now if you are a person whose rebirth consciousness is associated with wisdom, so we say this Mahavipaka Cheta, they function as our rebirth consciousness, and then as life continuum, the whole of the life, and finally as death consciousness. So they have the same names as the Mahakusala Cheta. So among the 8 Mahakusala Cheta, 4 are Jnana Samyutam, associated with knowledge, and 4 are Jnana Vibhutam, dissociated with knowledge. And the same thing, these 8 Mahakusala Vipaka Cheta, they have the same name. So 4 are Jnana Samyuta, 4 are Jnana Vibhuta. So if you are born with Jnana Samyuta Mahavipaka Cheta, then we say you have your rebirth consciousness is associated with wisdom. With wisdom. So you have 3 roots, we say. What are the 3 roots? The 3 good roots? They are just the opposite of these 3. Alobha, Adosa, Amoha. So we call you 3-rooted person. 3-rooted person. Now there are people who are born with Jnana Vibhuta Mahavipaka Cheta. So Jnana Vibhuta, they don't have the knowledge of wisdom. So they have only 2 roots, Alobha, Adosa. So we call them 2-rooted person. So they are the 2-rooted person, they are less intellectual than 3-rooted person. They are less intellectual. And when they undertake meditation, they cannot develop the jhana in this life. Only if you are 3-rooted, you can develop the jhana. So of course you have to do, you have to exert the effort, and then you have to do correctly meditation. So now, Pa-Auk Center, Pa-Auk Meditation Center, here we give correct guidance, as taught by the Buddha. So here, we have Venerable Aukansa, as the resident monk here, the resident monk here. So, he is teaching, those who are willing, to meditate. He is teaching meditation. He is teaching meditation. So also we are beginning with the mindfulness of breathing, with the mindfulness of breathing. So No, the meditation is not very difficult. It's easy to teach, but no, it's a little difficult to do correctly and to do continuously, and then energetically, strenuously, energetically. So only then you win. No, because to get the jhana is very valuable. No, because they are also moral mind, kusala cheta, moral mind, but they are more developed, we call them. They are higher moral minds than the mahakusala cheta. No, what we are getting now is mahakusala cheta. No, so this karma, mahakusala karma, can bear result or rebirth only in the sense sphere. So that means we can be born, this karma will produce rebirth in the sense sphere, either in the human realm or in the sixth celestial realm. No? So you can make a wish where you want to be born. You can be born there. But this, the rupa, vajra, kusala, karma, they are stronger. No? They are more powerful. So when you get them, you will enjoy the highest mundane bliss, we say. Mundane bliss means worldly bliss. No? In this world, the highest bliss you can enjoy by developing this, the jhana cheta. Now this karma can produce you, can make you to be born in the Brahma realm. When you die, to be born as a Brahma, very powerful person, Brahma. And you will live for, say, when you are Mahabrahma, you can live for one war cycle. And then, when you are the higher Brahma, you can live for 500 war cycles. So that means you can meet the next Buddha. You can see the next Buddha, and just by listening to the Dhamma, you can become enlightened. So the result is of very great benefit. Great benefit. So though we should exert the effort to develop this jhana cheta. So now we continue here. So the rupa, vajra, vipaka chetas are the karma resultants of rupa, vajra, kriya chetas. They are the rebirth consciousness of rupa brahmas. So a person who has acquired the first rupa, vajra, kusala cheta, that is the first jhana, and if you can maintain it till death, that when you die you will be born in the first jhana plane as Brahma. So as we say, this Mahavipaka chetas are our rebirth consciousness and life continuum. So this Rupa Vajra Vipaka chetas are the rebirth consciousness and life continuum of Rupa Brahmas. Rupa Brahma. And the Rupa Vajra Kriya cheta will arise in Arahats. So when Arahats, they can develop the jhana. So instead of Rupa Vajra Kusala jhana, they will have Rupa Vajra Kriya jhana. Okay. Now we just explain to you what is meant by jhana. So the next page. So on page what is jhana here? The question here is, jhana is mental absorption. When the mind remains absorbed or focused on a sense object for hours, for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and it is also called a combination of jhana factors. So jhana factors in Pali we say jhanengas. So there are 5 jhana factors. So these are mental factors, neutral mental factors. They associate with both the immoral minds and moral minds. They associate. So now vitaka is, we call it initial obligation that applies the mind to the sense object. Now, our mind. So, when you are having your mind now, so vitaka is always present in your mind. So that vitaka is the one that that applies your mind towards your house, then you think about your house. If Vitakka applies to your family, you think about your family. Vitakka applies you to your friend, you think about the friend. So Vitakka is applying your mind towards various objects. Now, whatever object it applies you take notice of that. But in meditation, we have to guide, to control this Vitakka, so that it applies the mind to the meditation sub-object again and again. So we say it applies the mind to the sense object. Now vichara is, it follows Vitakka. We call it sustained application that examines the sense object again and again. So when Vitakka applies the mind to the sense object, so the mind will remain in that sense object just for a moment. So the mind is very quick, it will travel to another sense object. So to keep the mind longer there, vichara, so takes that sense object again and again. We say examine the sense object again and again. So it sustains the obligation of the mind on that object. It applies the mind to that sense object again and again, in other words, to keep the mind longer on that sense object. And now piti is joy or pleasurable interest in the object. It takes the interest in the object and it develops joy. Now when you have joy, so you are happy actually. When you have joy, you have happy. So wherever you have joy and you are happy, you want to stay there longer. Stay there longer. So by that joy, the piti, try to maintain your mind to stay on that sense object for longer time. And then the piti, and then we have Vedana. Vedana is feeling or sensation. So here we say, these are 5 types of the feeling, so that can arise in all this mind now. So the two types of feeling, that arise in jhanas are sukha and upekha. So sukha is pleasant feeling. So when we say pleasant feeling, it can also mean, it can mean both of this one. It means somanasa, pleasant mental feeling, and sukha, pleasant bodily feeling. It means both of them. And then the next one is upekha, is neutral feeling or equanimity, we say here. Equanimity is mental balance. Mental balance. So the mind is not restless, not agitated anymore. It performing its function very peacefully. So we call that equanimity. So as you see here, the 5th jhana is given the negative sign. So that is, we call it upekha. So this upekha mean neutral feeling as well as equanimity. It means both of them. The neutral feeling and equanimity. And equanimity is mental balance. Now, ekakada. Eka means one. One-pointedness. So it also means concentration. In Pali we call samadhi. So when you developed the concentration, then we say you are getting higher concentration or samadhi. So ekakada. So these are the 5 jhana factors. The 5 jhana factors. So they are jitasikas that can keep the mind fixed on an object. They can be developed by undertaking tranquility meditation. Just like we say, the kasina meditation or mindfulness of breathing. So, any meditation, the Buddha, he described 40 types of meditation that we describe in this Visuddhimagga book. How to do, like if you want to do anapanasati, mindfulness of breathing, as taught by the Buddha, so we describe fully here. We describe fully here. So, how you develop, how you get the sign, how the jhana arises. So everything will describe there. So, so we say, our mind is normally not tranquil or calm. Not tranquil means peaceful or calm. It is constantly agitated by 5 hindrances. We call nivaranas. Namely, sense desire. Sense desire is actually the name of this lopa. Greed. Greed. It is greed, desires for pleasant sense objects. Always desiring for pleasant sense objects. So to see, some person that you are interested, so that is pleasant sense object, the person. So to see, all those, the good food, the good clothing, and then the entertainment, etc. So this sense desire is the worst enemy. We think it's very good to have the sense desire. So now to have to go to the shopping mall to see so many things. What are the new things? So we are enjoying some looking like that. So we are enjoying only with lopa, with greed-rooted consciousness. Remember. So while you are enjoying somanasa, sagatam, lopa mula cheta will be arising, accompanied by joy or pleasant feeling. So a pleasant feeling. So we are enjoying with it. So this sense desire, we have to cut it off. So long they are arising, only in moral mind would be arising in you. So in meditation, we have to cut off ourselves from the external world, especially from the sense world, the sensual world. So you have to forget, your family, your job, your all these things. Why during that 1 hour of meditation? So try to cut off. Try to cut off. Otherwise you cannot develop mental concentration. So and the next one is ill bhyabhada, stands for the same name as dosa, anger. Anger is the next enemy. Because anger, if you are thinking of some bad things, you are expecting some bad things, some like that, so only worry will be arising in you, or displeasure arising in you, or dissatisfaction arising in you. Or while you are meditating, maybe some pain arises, and maybe like some itchy, or like some insect crawling on your body, so you don't like it, so now you want to scratch or do that. So that means you are becoming agitated, agitated because of this displeasure. Displeasure, these are the disliked. So these are all the name of this, the dosa, evil, the name of evil. So if somebody says something bad to you, you will be thinking about that for a long time. So if you have something bad occurring, that will come in your mind most of the time. So if there arises, only you are having anger-rooted consciousness, you are having mental pain at that time, and then you are just worsening your health. So your digestion all are disturbed. So, and it is the second enemy. Now the third enemy is sloth and torpor, idleness and sleepiness. So some people, when they meditate, but before they meditate, they are wide awake. As soon as they meditate, they start nodding their head very soon. So sleepiness, and then drowsiness. So if you are sleepy like that, so no moral minds. Only the sleepy minds are the sasankarika cheta. It's a sleepy mind actually. So we said at that time only lopa mula sasankarika cheta will be arising in you. So no moral minds will arise. And then the next one is restlessness. Make your mind restless. Remorse. Remorse is you have done something wrong and you feel unhappy about it. So then the remorse will keep arising in you. And then septical doubt. Vicikiccha, you have already seen the septical doubt and restlessness. No, so if Vijikacha or restlessness arising, only Moha Mula Jeta will be arising. So we call these the 5 internal enemies. And their closest enemy, they are the influencing your mind most of the time. As we say in the whole day, if you take the stock, the consciousness that rises in the whole day, only greed-rooted consciousness, or anger-rooted consciousness, or ignorance-rooted consciousness. They are the enemies. So they are influence your mind. You are just living with immoral mind. So because of that, the Buddha say, your mind is always agitated and restless and wandering, always wandering. So especially sense desire makes us to be thinking of this, think of that, think of that, always wandering. And the mind is very quick, very swift, the Buddha said. Very subtle, because nobody can see the mind. Very subtle and very swift. It can move from one object to another very quickly. If you have friends in the America, so your mind can go to them instantly, very swift. And then another person in Japan, another person in Australia, so it can run any place very quickly, and very difficult to control the mind, the Buddha said. But the wise should exert the effort to control the mind. So if you can control the mind, you can calm down the mind, and you can culture the mind. So by making it calm, the tranquil, so we are culturing it. So if it's running there, we say your mind is why. Why? So it's running and like that, like a wild bull, very difficult to control. Now when you can control it, so become cultured, we say. So the Buddha said, the wise should exert the effort to calm down, to control and to culture their mind. So once your mind become calm, culture, it will bring happiness. It will bring happiness. It can bring you human happiness, celestial happiness, and then Nibbana happiness. These happiness cannot be given to you by anyone. Your parents, your children, your friends, nobody can give you. Only this culture mind will give you. So by taming your mind, culturing your mind, so you get very great benefit. And the greatest benefit is in meditation we are developing moral minds continuously. Only moral minds will be arising. Will be arising. So you are getting billions of good karma. Not just like you are listening to the Dhamma, the Dhamma talk. So it is a very beneficial way of living meditation. Now, we say these hindrances can be overcome temporarily, and temporarily dismissed by tranquility meditation. So we may choose Patavi Kasina Addis as an object of meditation. So an Addis can be made by smearing on a canvas or met with dawn-colored clay. So now this canvas, when you meditate, you place it on the earth. And then you sit on a stool, 1 foot high. And you should be about 4 feet from the earth disk. So if you are very far away, you cannot see the earth disk very clearly. If you are very close, you can see the earth disk with the finger, the defects, the faults, like the fingerprints, etc. will appear. So they say you should look from a distance of 4 feet. And then you open your eyes moderately as you look yourself in the mirror, and then you meditate, mentally saying, Patavi, Patavi, or At. So during that time, moral minds, accompanied by these 5 jhana factors, will arise by billions every second. Now the 5 jhana factors will be developed slowly. So initial application, Vitakka applies the mind to the artist, and it temporarily inhibits sloth and torpor not to arise. So these jhana factors, they come to help us. No, when we are meditating, remember, moral minds arise by billions, no, every second. And these 5 jhana factors are associated with this moral mind. So when they are, no, the moral minds are developed repeatedly, they become stronger, stronger, stronger. And the jhana factors also become stronger and stronger. So this Vitakka, no, it applies the mind, no, towards that artist again and again, and it also suppresses sloth and torpor not to arise. So that means if your effort is strong, you are applying your mind again and again. Just don't let your mind wander away. Just apply it on the artist. So again and again, it suppresses sloth and torpor. And then vichara, sustained obligation. So it also applies the mind again and again by examining that object. And by doing that, it suppresses vicikiccha, skeptical doubt, not to arise in the mind. And then piti, joy, will become stronger. So when piti, joy, they become strong, it can suppress this dosa, anger, the ill will, we say, not to arise in the mind. The ill will not arise in the mind. And then the sukha, bliss. Oh, when you get sukha, bliss, you are happy in that. So the sukha will prevent the uddhacca, restlessness and remorse, so not to arise in the mind. Then, with the support of these 4 jhana factors, the ekaggata is the one that unites consciousness and all mental factors, unites them together harmoniously and keep them fixed on that meditation subject. So it is the one that keeps the mind fixed on the meditation subject, and it suppresses the worst enemy, sense desire, lobha, not to arise in the mind. So just you keep on meditating, though you think you are not progressing, you are progressing. And the jhana factors are suppressing those, the 5 hindrances. And when the jhana factors become quite strong, they can suppress those hindrances quite effectively. Then your mind is not wandering anymore. At first it is wandering, it's restless, but slowly it becomes, we say, calm, tranquil, and culture now. So when you can concentrate on that artist continuously, say for half an hour and more, then you close your eyes occasionally. When you close your eyes, you cannot see the artist, so you open again and then keep on meditating, patavi, for a few minutes, and then you close again. So again you don't see, you open it again. So, and at one point, when you close your eyes, you can see the artist as you have seen it with open eyes. Then we say you attain the meditation sign, and we call it the acquired sign. So the meditation sign, we call it the learning sign or acquired sign. In Pali we call ukkaha namitta. So at this stage you can see the artist with closed eyes as you have seen it with open eyes. So this visualized image is called the learning sign or the acquired sign. Now when you attain this learning sign or acquired sign, so you need not look at that artist anymore. Then you can go to the meditation hall. Go to the meditation hall, and with closed eye you just keep on meditating on that. On that artist. Patavi, keep on. So try to keep your mind fixed on that, the address. So so your concentration will be rising. So the jhana factors become stronger and stronger. Now, when the concentration, your concentration, becomes to a certain level, we call it neighborhood concentration. Neighborhood means it's near to the jhana. When it comes close to the jhana, then the jhana factors can suppress all the hindrances, not to arise in the mind anymore. So no hindrances in the mind. So if no hindrances arise in the mind, we say no defilements, no immoral mental factors arise in the mind anymore. So it is these immoral mental factors that we call defilements, that defile the mind, that make the mind dirty and wicked and unwholesome. So if they do not arise in the mind becomes pure. The mind becomes pure. So when it becomes pure, no agitation by these hindrances anymore. So it means very calm, tranquil, serene, and your mind will remain on the sense subject for 1 hour, 2 hours easily. It will become very tame, and it will just remain there. At that time, the sign changes. The sign changes. So we say, now, one meditates on this acquired sign with closed eye, the mentally saying patvi as before. Now when one reaches the neighborhood concentration, that is near the jhana, the sign suddenly changes in its color and appearance. It becomes many times brighter, and it is as smooth as the surface of a mirror. The change is like taking a mirror out of its rough leather case. So this new sign is known as the counter sign, Patibhaganamita. So if you get that sign, you should be very happy, because it's very difficult to get this sign. You have to exert the great effort to get this sign. So when you get that sign, your mind is pure, and your mind also radiates very bright, penetrative light. Bright and penetrative light. And with closed eye, you can see all the things in front of you. Not only this sign, you can also see like other meditators, the meditating in the meditation hall. And now then your sign now is, so it is very smooth like a mirror, and very bright, smooth, clear and bright. Very, very bright, bright like the star, like the sun, like that. So we say it is just like taking the mirror, the looking mirror, from its case, like that old, the leather case. So old leather case is not clear and bright. Now when you take the mirror out, so the mirror is clear and bright. So it is just like the moon coming out from dark clouds, and like the cranes, the white birds flying out of the dark clouds. So it is very distinct. So you can know it very definitely. So when you attain that counter sign, you are close to the jhana now. So at that time the jhana factors are quite well developed, we say. So piti, joy and sukha, bliss are very strong now. So even at this stage, you experience the bliss, the happiness, much superior than sense enjoyment. You may have enjoyed various sense pleasure. So this the experience would be superior to all your previous sense enjoyment. So at no cost. You don't have to pay any money. So now if you know the teaching of the Buddha, So now you get billions and billions of good karma. No? And then now you can even enjoy the highest, no, the worldly bliss. No, the worldly bliss. So now what we have to do is, we have to expand that countersign. So in Kasina meditation, no, they ask you to expand the countersign. As this countersign is produced by the mind, no, so it can be expanded by the power of the mind. You just make the wish. May the countersign, no, become bigger by 1 inch, another inch, another inch, another inch, another inch. So by that slowly you expand it to fill all directions in front of you. So we say it become infinite. So all are bright now. No, all are bright now. No, the sign, no, fill up with them. Then you just focus, no, your attention on that expanded sign. And keep on, with close eye, keep on reflecting Patwi as before. If your mind remains fixed on that counter sign for 1 hour, 2 hours or more, we say you attain the first jhana. Rupa Vajra jhana. So when you attain the jhana, we say all the 5 jhana factors become fully developed. So your mind do not run anymore. Just remain fixed, no, on that sign. So you have to practice, no, to develop this jhana again and again very quickly, and to remain in the jhana longer and longer time. So if you practice well, you can remain in the jhana state for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 1 day, 2 days, even up to 7 days at a time. How nice! No, if you have no money, don't worry. you can just develop the jhana and remain very happily, no, without needing to eat, no, without needing to go to the toilet. So you live very happily for 7 days, just like the Brahma. So the Brahma, they lived, no, more happily, more, no, their bliss is greater than the celestial being. Not like we call the Deva, no, greater than them. So, no, the highest, the mundane bliss, you live like that, like the Brahma, no, for 7 days at a time. So that is, you attain the first jhana. So in the first jhana, all the 5 jhana factors are present. No, now, after you become very skillful in this jhana, you can go higher to the second jhana. So when you go higher to the second jhana, you have to eliminate these jhana factors one by one. When you eliminate vitaka, you get the second jhana. Then you eliminate vichara, you get the third jhana. You eliminate piti, you get the fourth jhana. Then you eliminate sukha. When you eliminate sukha, then instead of sukha, upekha will arise. So you have only upekha, ekagata, 2 jhana factor. We call it the 5th jhana. So, no, by that way, you can develop 5 Rupa Vajra jhana. So in the undertaking, no, the mindfulness of breathing, so no, it is similar to this. So we can also develop 5 Rupa Vajra jhana. Now, so we come to, no, the page 48. Page 48. Okay, this one. So, now we can read the names of the 5 Rupa Vajra jhana. 5 material sphere, that means Rupa Vajra, moral consciousness, Kusala Chaita. So these are the symbols. So, not the first 4 jhana, they contain the sukha. Sukha is the same as somanasa, we say, so we give them the positive sign. And then, the 5th jhana, is associated with upekha, upekha and ekagata. So it is given the negative sign. So these are the 5 jhana factors: vitaka, vichara, piti, sukha, upekha, ekagata. So this is the Pali word actually, Padutacha. They mean, Patama. Patama means the first. Dutaya means the second. Tataya means the third. Jadutha means the fourth. And Panchama means the fifth. The first, the moral consciousness, second moral consciousness, etc. So now we got the name as this number 1. So all these 5 jhana factors are present in the first jhana. So we say Vitaka, Vichara, Piti, Sukha, Ekakada. So when we say Sukha, you have to put A here, and then Ekakada. So you can combine them by eliminating A. So this apostrophe say mean A is eliminated. So we call Sukhi Kakada. So it means Sukha Ekakada. Sahitam, together with. Together with these 5 jhana factors. Patamach jhana kusala chaitam. So first jhana, moral consciousness. Patama jhana means first jhana. Kusala chaitam, moral consciousness. Sahitam, together with. Vitaka, initial obligation. Vichara, sustained obligation. Sukha, piti is joy. Sukha is bliss. And ekagata is one-pointedness. Now after you know the first jhana, when you go the second jhana, you just eliminate vitaka. So we read together. Vichara, piti, sukhe, kakada, sahitam. Dutayach jhana kusala chaitam. Second jhana, moral consciousness together with sustained obligation, joy, bliss, and one-pointedness. Number 3, we eliminate vichara again. Piti sukhe kakada sahitam. Tatayach jhana kusala chaitam. So the third jhana, moral consciousness together with joy, bliss, and one-pointedness. Then number 4, sukhe kakada sahitam. Chatutach jhana kusala chaitam. Fourth jhana, moral consciousness together with bliss and one-pointedness. Then instead of sukha, we change into upikha. Upikha ekagada. Or we can say upikhe ekagada sahitam. Panchamach jhana kusala chaitam. So panchama means fifth. Fifth jhana, moral consciousness together with. So instead of bliss, we say the equanimity and one-pointedness. So on the next page, so we have the name. So this one. Fifth jhana, moral consciousness together with equanimity and one-pointedness. So after you name the 5 rupa, vajra, kusala, chaita, then the 5 material sphere result in consciousness, vipaka, chaita. They have the same symbol and the same name as the kusala chaita, moral consciousness. We have to change only that, the moral kusala into vipaka resultant. Only that. So the names are the same. For example, if you want to read this one, how would you read? So you have to mention the jhana factor. Try to read vitaka, vichara, piti, sukha, ekagata, sahitam, panchamach jhana, vipaka chaitam. Instead of kusala chaitam, you say vipaka chaitam. So the rest you can name in the same way. Now when you come to the 5 material sphere, functional consciousness, so that is kriya chaita. So again here you just change that moral consciousness into functional consciousness. Moral is changed into the kusala, moral is changed into kriya, functional. So we know the names of all these 15 chaitas. Now we give you this note, the 4 jhana method. In practice, most meditators, after attaining the first rupa vajra jhana, No, they can eliminate vitaka and vichara simultaneously to develop the second rupa vajra jhana. They further eliminate piti to develop the third rupa vajra jhana. And then sukha, eliminate sukha to develop the fourth rupa vajra jhana. So this method is called the four jhana method. And it is common method. The fourth jhana of the four jhana method is the same as the fifth jhana of the five jhana method. In Sutta Pitaka, no, the rupa vajra jhanas are mentioned according to the four jhana method. No, so in the Sutta Pitaka we use only the four jhana method. And in our meditation, the Pa-Auk forest meditation centers, just like in Myanmar. So now we have produced the hundreds of persons who already attained the jhana. So almost all these meditators, after attaining the first jhana with the five jhana factors, they can eliminate vitaka, vichara simultaneously. So there is their second jhana with only three jhana factors. Then they eliminate piti to develop the third jhana. And then eliminate sukha, and instead of sukha you will get upika ekagata to develop the fourth jhana. So we say the fourth jhana in this method is the same as the fifth jhana, in the five jhana method. So in this five jhana method, the fifth jhana is also associated with upika ekagata, equanimity and one-pointedness. So we should know the two ways. So in practice we are following that method. But in Abhidhamma we like to describe all the possible jhana. So we describe all the five jhanas here. Now after you attain all the rupa vajra five jhanas, so for non-arahats, for our case we can develop this five rupa vajra jhana. After that we can go to develop to this four arupa vajra jhana. So they are the higher jhana. So you will get greater bliss by developing this, the greater bliss. So now arupa vajra chaita, there are 12 of them, and we also divide them just like here into kusala, vipaka and kriya. So we show here. So we come to immaterial sphere consciousness, arupa vajra chaita. There are 12 arupa vajra chaita. Now we divide them into three groups equally. So what is the first group? Arupa vajra kusala chaitas, 4 of them, and they can be called arupa jhana, moral consciousness. Now the next group, arupa vajra vipaka chaitas, also 4, and we can also call them arupa jhana, resultant consciousness. And the next one, arupa vajra kriya chaitas. So they arise in arahat, remember. So arahats will develop these kriya chaita, 4 of them. They are called arupa jhana, functional consciousness. So the same thing, if you can develop arupa jhana and you can maintain this jhana till death, when you die, you will be born in arupa realm, with this arupa vajra vipaka chaita. So arupa vajra vipaka chaita will function as rebirth consciousness and life continuum of arupa Brahma. So arupa means no material. So these people, after they attain the fifth jhana, they find the fault with this body. Because of this body, we have a lot of suffering. So, if we don't think we are very happy with this body, to get this body, we are trying to beautify in them every day. So we think it's very good to have this body because we can enjoy sense pleasure, Chinese noodle, Chinese movie, and so all the good things we are enjoying with this body. So we think it is good. But if you look from the other point of view, it is not good to have this body. Because of this body, you have to be conceived in the mother's womb for about 10 months. no, in great suffering. So when you are born, so they say when you are born, you are similar to drawing an elephant through the hole of a key, a lock. So from a tiny hole you have to come out. So that means great pain, no, great pain. And while you are living, you are aging. No, you are aging and you are having a lot of diseases, many pain because of this body, many pain. And you have the insect bites, no, the insect bites, and then you have the heat. Oh, the weather is very hot, oh, very cold. No, so all these things. And you have to feed this body throughout your life. You have to feed. And because of this body, you need the housing, the clothing, and you want to enjoy sense pleasure, you have to buy the motor car. So you have to walk the whole life. And you don't have the chance to meditate anymore. So when you die, you are born in the woeful state. So now when you look at that, it's better to be to have no body. So if you want to develop the arupa jhana, you have to reflect on the force of this body, no, and on the force of materiality. And then you have to catch your attachment to this body and materiality. No, though we say you have to cut attachment only temporarily. Of course you cannot cut totally. You cannot cut totally. Just for the sake of meditation, you reflect and then try to think, it's good, without body. Then you undertake meditation. Now. So we go to how to undertake the immaterial jhana. Now we read a little bit so that you understand better. So we can read together. The person who has developed the 5th rupa jhana, not the 5 rupa jhanas, may go up the ladder of concentration to arupa jhana. In doing so, he uses the concentration associated with the 5th rupa vajra jhana as his base. So you have to climb higher. So you have to develop the 5th rupa vajra jhana first. Only then you can go to higher. Now also he has to reason about unsatisfactoriness of the physical body and the troubles it develops on account of heat and cold, insect bites, hunger and thirst, diseases, aging and death. When he feels detached from the physical body and materiality, he first develops the 5th jhana by meditating on the counter sign of Patavi Kasina. So, when you can maintain this 5 rupa vajra jhana, the counter sign that you have expanded, is always in your memory. As soon as you close your eye, that counter sign will appear. So, that counter sign, you meditate on the counter sign, Patavi to develop the 1st jhana. Then you come out of it and again meditate on that, the counter sign without vitaka, so to develop the 2nd jhana. Then without vitaka, without vichara as well, to develop the 3rd jhana, 4th jhana and 5th jhana. So you develop the 5th jhana by meditating on the counter sign. Now you come out of the 5th jhana. You come out of the 5th jhana and then you have to do further meditation to develop arupa jhana now. So arupa means non-materiality. So as you have developed detachment from materiality, so you don't want to take any materiality as your object anymore. So you don't even want to look at this counter sign, which is connected with the addis. The addis is materiality. So it is connected. They say, though a person who is afraid of the snakes, if you are afraid of snakes, you don't want to see a rope which is similar to a snake, or a leaf, like a coconut leaf. So it resemble a snake. So you don't want to see it. So now, he doesn't want to see this expanded counter sign anymore. But as he developed the fifth jhana on this countersign, so the countersign will remain. No, in his vision, the countersign will remain. But now he neglects it. No, he neglects it. Though it is in front of you, no, you neglect it, and he focuses attention on the infinite space beyond that countersign. So if this countersign, no, disappear, then empty space, no, infinite space will, no, will appear. So he, no, concentrate on that countersign, the empty space, and then he reflect, no, the empty space. In Pali we say akasa. So akasa, akasa, akasa. So this is the way we, we describe here. Now we can read again. When he feels detached from the physical body and materiality, he first developed the fifth jhana by meditating on the countersign of the Patavi Kasina. He then comes out from the fifth jhana, and though the expanded countersign exists in his vision, he neglects it and tries to concentrate on the infinite space, akasa, beyond it, and meditates akasa, akasa, akasa repeatedly. When his mind attachment, we call nikanti, mind attachment, to the countersign disappears, then the countersign suddenly disappears also. So this countersign does not disappear because we have the mind attachment to it. So when you are absorbed by meditating on the empty space, space, when you are directed on that, then your mind attachment on this countersign disappear. And this countersign disappear also, then the empty space will appear now. So then when this mind attachment for the countersign disappears, the countersign suddenly disappears, unfolding endless space. Concentrating his mindfulness on this infinite space, he goes on meditating akasa, akasa, or space, till he reaches the first arupa jhana. That means until he becomes focused on that space for 1 hour, 2 hours or more. And then we say he attains the first arupa jhana. And this jhana is called akasananca yadana kusala cita. So you can read by combining akasananca yadana kusala cita, because it focuses on infinite space. Now we continue. He then continues his meditation by concentrating his mindfulness on this cita, akasananjayana kusala cita, meditating vijnana repeatedly. Vijnana means this cita, this consciousness, infinite consciousness, repeatedly till he reaches absorption again. That means when his mind remain focused for 1 hour, 2 hours or more, he attains the second arupa jhana. Now this jhana is called Vijnananja Yarana Kusala Cita. As it focuses on Vijnana, so it is called Vijna. Remember this end bar is called Nya. Now Vijnananja Yarana Kusala Cita. So we say when you attain the jhana, you can look penetratively into your body, and you can see your heart, and you can see that life continuum arising in the blood of the heart. Life continuum, remember, rebirth consciousness, and then life continuum keep arising one after another. I say they represent the mind door, the mind door. So that the countersign appears in the mind door. The countersign appears in the mind door. And you can also see akasa nanjayarana cita. that takes the infinite space as its object. You can also see Akasananjayana Citta. So that we say you focus on Akasananjayana Citta, and then you meditate Vijnana until you reach absorption. Then you get Vijnananjayana Kusala Citta. Now to go another step. After you attain this, then you can go to develop the third Arupa Jhana. So to develop the third Arupa Jhana, he focuses his attention not on the Akachananjayana Kusala Citta, but on nothingness. On nothingness. So somebody asks, how can we focus on nothingness? Well, if I show you, this is a Lisa pointer. Now you know it is Lisa pointer is present here. Now if I hide it, so Lisa pointer disappear. So there is nothingness. So at present something exists. Now when you hide it, nothing exists there. So there is nothingness, they say. So you just focus on nothingness, and then you focus on the so on on nothingness, meditating. Now you can go to the next page. Meditating, nati kenchi. That means there's nothing whatsoever, repeatedly, till he reaches absorption. We call the jhana. Now this jhana is called akin, chanya yatana kusala citta. Akin chanya also means nothingness. So it takes nothingness as its object. It is called Akinchanya Yarana Kusala Citta. Then you focus on this citta. By taking the third Arupa Jhana, this citta, consciousness as the object of meditation, now he can further develop the fourth Arupa Jhana. Now this fourth Arupa Jhana is called Niva Sanya Na Sanya Yarana Kusala Citta. Niva Sanya Na Sanya Yarana literally means perception neither exists nor does not exist. It refers to the fact that the fourth Arupa Jhana consciousness is so subtle and so refined that one cannot definitely say whether there is a consciousness or not. Consciousness is no longer noticeable at the state of this jhana. So now you get the fourth jhana. So actually when we develop this jhana, when you attain the fifth Rupa Vajra jhana, so we say you stop breathing. When you develop the fifth, the Rupa Vajra jhana attainment, if you remain in that jhana attainment, your breathing is no longer noticeable. That means it becomes very subtle finally. So even breathing is not aware, is not aware anymore. Now when you go on to the Arupa Vajra jhana, they are more and more subtle. So when you come to Niva Sanya Na Sanya Yarana Citta, you don't know even the mind arising at that time. So Sanya means perception. Perception that associates with every mind. So Niva Sanya means, as we say here, Niva Sanya Na Sanya, literally means, here, Niva Sanya Na Sanya literally means perception neither exists nor does not exist. Perception exists, your mind exists, but it is very subtle, you don't know it. So you are not definitely sure whether it exists or not anymore. That is what we say, what we mean by that. Now you should take note. All the four arupa jhanas belong to the category of the fifth jhana because they are based on the fifth rupa jhana. And they all have only two jhana factors, namely upekha and ekagata, just like the fifth rupa jhana. So based on fifth jhana, rupa jhana, we develop this four arupa jhana. So they also have only upekha, ekagata as jhana factors. And that's why we say all these four arupa jhana belong to the fifth jhana. Now it should be noted that the five rupa jhanas differ from one another in the number of jhana factors. And that's why when we describe the five rupa jhana, their names, we have to mention the jhana factors to show the difference. Whereas the four arupa jhanas differ from one another in the objects of meditation they take. In the objects of meditation. So we can read just briefly the names of the four arupa jhana. So, in material sphere, moral consciousness, arupa vajra kusala jhana. So we say as they attain only upekha ekagata as the jhana factor, we give the negative sign. And you remember their full names, so then you remember this name. Now we can read them. So this one, upekha ekagata sahitam akasa nanja yadana kusala chaitam. It is akasa nanja yadana, moral consciousness. Sahitam means together with equanimity and one-pointedness. The next one, upekhi ekagata sahitam Vaijnananja yarana kusala chaitam. Vaijnananja yarana, moral consciousness together with equanimity and one-pointedness. The next one, upekhi ekagata sahitam akinchanya yarana kusala chaitam. The next one, upekhi ekagata sahitam neva sanya na sanya yarana kusala chaitam. So, when you go to the four arupa vajra vipaka chaita, we just change this kusala chaitam into vipaka chaitam, that's all. So when you read the four, the rupa arupa vajra, the kriya chaita, you just change kusala into kriya chaitam. For example, you would say upekhi ekagata sahitam akasa nanja yarana vipaka chaitam or kriya chaitam. So we know all these 12 arupa vajra jhana. So not bad today we finish all this, all the 9 jhana, how to develop them. So only what is necessary to do the practice, to meditate. Okay, we can say prayers now. Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipatiya buddham bujemi. Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipatiya dhammam bujemi. Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipatiya sangham bujemi. With our holy practice, which is in accord with the 9 supramundane dhammas, we pay obeisance to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. Idam me punyam asvakkaya vaham hotu. May these merits of mine lead me to the extinction of all defilements. Idam me punyam nibbanasa paccaya hotu. May these merits of mine be conducive to my attainment of Nibbana. Imam no punya bhagam sabba saddhanam dima. Imam no punya bhagam sabba saddhanam dima. Imam no punya bhagam sabba saddhanam dima. We share our merits with all sentient beings. May all sentient beings obtain the share of our merits and be well and happy always. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.